Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a super easy cinnamon palmer recipe for you. Barely even a recipe, more so just an accumulation of ingredients bunged in the oven. These are really great sweet treats either for breakfast or for dessert, and great to make if you want something nice and quick. Having some puff pastry in the fridge or the freezer is always great for this sort of thing. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm just weighing out 340 grams of puff pastry. So this is frozen puff pastry that I just let thaw out, and I used the rest just for little sort of cheese puff pastry balls that I put on the side in the oven. So you want to preheat your oven to around 220 degrees. So here you can see I'm mixing together 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and 40 grams of caster sugar. And there you can see me weighing out 25 grams of unsalted butter, and you want that to be melted. So I just pop that in the microwave for about 10 seconds. So now I'm rolling out my puff pastry. Super easy. You just want to try and keep the edges as straight as possible, but don't worry, it doesn't affect it a massive amount. You're probably still going to have some oddly shaped palmers from each end. So you want to roll this out until it's about 1 millimetre thick, and then you want to brush on the melted butter, about half of the melted butter onto one side, and then you want to sprinkle about half of your cinnamon and sugar mixture on that side as well. Along with sprinkling, it is really good to rub it in with your fingers just to make sure it's all sort of caught in, because this is quite a lot of sugar and cinnamon for the size of pastry you have, so it should spread the entire way. A tip I had read was to roll your rolling pin on it to sort of secure in the sugar and cinnamon, but I actually don't think it worked at all. I think more of it actually got stuck to the rolling pin, so if I were you, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd just sort of rub it in with your fingers. Yeah, get messy in there, it's going to make it taste a lot nicer. Then, so you're going to use the rest of the butter on the other side and repeat the process exactly the same again, but just making sure you finish off your sugar and cinnamon. Any sugar or cinnamon basically that just won't stick. Save a little bit of butter for the end so that you can just pour on top. So now I'm just collecting the ends. I decided to fold it along the sort of rougher sides, the less even sides. So once you've tucked in all of the sort of uneven bits, then you can just roll, and you do this from either end and meet in the middle. Really nice and easy, obviously, you just want the rolls to be pretty equal in shape. And then I decided to cut it with my sort of icing, like scraper. Probably, I've seen people cut this with some string. They do squish down a bit, but actually it doesn't make any difference. You can just sort of unsquish them with your fingers, and they still puff out into a really nice shape when they're in the oven anyway. So I would cut them to about a couple of centimetres thick, and then sort of just try and squish them out a little bit when you put them on the board. What I ended up doing with the ends is I ended up sort of rolling them together to create a bigger palmer, and just because the ends were a bit funny and a bit short on their own. It probably did make the worst one, but you know, if you're only going to waste one, then that's absolutely fine. So then you're just going to pop your palmers into your preheated oven for around 12 minutes. And after 12 minutes, they looked like this, and they were perfectly crispy. Really, really nice, really liked it. As you can see, that one I pointed to was the one that wasn't quite right, but the rest turned out really well. I was really happy with them, and I just put them on this non-stick baking mat, and they came off really nicely. And that is it. So sorry it was a bit of a short one today, but I thought I'd do something a little bit simpler and a little bit easier, and you never know, I might even do a little extra video this week to make up for that one being so short. I just thought this is a really good staple recipe to have and to know, just so that if you have got any puff pastry lying around, this is something really easy that you can do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week with another video.